Do you remember that time when Phoebe Buffay from Friends had triplets? Let's talk about how that happened. Hi, I'm Kim. I'm a fertility nurse of 7 years, and let's break down what is actually happening medically. Okay, so in season 4, Phoebe agrees to be a gestational surrogate for her brother Frank and his wife Alice, if you remember. Alice cannot carry a pregnancy for herself, and that means Phoebe's uterus carried embryos made from Frank's sperm and Alice's eggs. These embryos were created through IVF. Eggs are retrieved from the ovaries and then were fertilized in a lab. Those embryos were then transferred into the uterus, and in this case, it was Phoebe's. Phoebe had taken medications to prepare her uterine lining, and those embryos were then implanted. Back in the earlier days of fertility treatments, the doctors had implanted multiple embryos and hoping for the best outcome. In Phoebe's case, it worked a little bit too well, and she ended up pregnant with triplets. This isn't really how doctors will practice anymore. But in short, Phoebe was not the biological mom. She was the gestational carrier. Her story was one of the first times ever on TV we learned about IVF and surrogacy being broadcast on mainstream television.